What's up, Comicbook.com? Welcome to our Wednesday edition of Comic Book Now. We're running through the top 5 stories from the past 24 hours. That means we're talking a little bit about that one Netflix series everyone's excited about. We got some Sherlock news in the form of a poster. Flash photos, everyone's very excited about that. And Jumanji casting, it's pretty exciting. And we're going to, of course, finish up with some Walking Dead chat because you know I love to do that. But let's jump in to Comic Book Now right now. First of all, Stranger Things, the Netflix series that everyone except me has watched, is getting a second season. I know. Go ahead, tear me up in the comment section. I'm the only person on the earth and in this room who hasn't watched Stranger Things yet. I've heard it's amazing. But in any case, whether I watch it or not, it's getting a second season in 2017. 9 episodes coming to you. The producers are saying that work on season 2 has already been underway. That's about all I've got, considering I haven't watched it. But that's great news. Netflix continues to kill it. Thank you for all the Marvel stuff you're giving us. Thank you for Stranger Things 2017. Bring it on. Maybe we'll get Defenders eventually. No, it's coming. Next up, Sherlock. We have a new poster with Martin Freeman and Sherlock himself, Benedict Cumberbatch. We had that trailer released at Comic-Con, and we did get to talk to Benedict Cumberbatch. We've got that interview. So instead of me talking about Sherlock, let's just hear it from Benedict himself. He's got a little bit of tease of what's to come in Season 4.
We got that giant cliffhanger at the end of last season. What can fans expect? From
he did a very dark, but he was beaten. He met the match who he couldn't better. And I think it puts him in a very, very difficult position. And how he gets out of that, we'll have to wait and see. Does he? Maybe it all goes back in time to an era before then. Who knows? It's so irritating because you can only talk in broad bracket terms. It's very dark. It's the same strain of trademark humor. The relationships are strong and deep and really complexified by what goes on.
That was our Jim Viscardi doing the interview there. Props to him for that great interview. And I got to say this about Benedict. I wanted to tell a little story real quick about that day. The day before that interview about Sherlock, I had talked to Benedict about Doctor Strange. I introduced myself to him, obviously. That's what you do when you meet a person. But the next day, that was the very next morning. And I mean, I don't know how many people Benedict Cumberbatch met at Comic-Con. Comic-Con is insane for any celebrity. I mean, they're doing interviews, they're meeting fans left and right, they're meeting everybody. And that morning, I think it was Sunday morning, he walked right up, and I was behind the camera that time helping Jim out with the interview, and he says, "Brandon, right? Yeah, we talked yesterday." And I was just like, dude, you remember that? He's a very smart guy, very well-spoken guy, and I thought that was a really cool story. I was really impressed that on such a busy weekend, hey, he remembered this guy's name. So anyway, thank you, Benedict, for that. Next up, we got some Flash photos. Very cool stuff coming from Season 2, Flashpoint. Guys, if you read the Flashpoint comic, if you haven't, go read it and just get hyped about the idea of Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne. But we got Wally West suiting up, only Kid Flash in this, sorry, lost my words there. And of course, this Reverse Flash is locked up, and we have Nora and Henry Allen. So they're looking happily ever after. Flashpoint confirmed, it's coming. Very exciting stuff coming in the next season of The Flash. It's going to be interesting to see what the repercussions of Barry's actions are going to be because, I mean, we had 3 different Flashes all in the same place, and finally he was just like, you know what, I'm going to do it. We're not going to get the full Flashpoint story because we're not going to get Aquaman, we're not going to get Wonder Woman, and these War of the Worlds pretty much in The Flash Season 3, as much as I would love to see that. I know everybody else would. But we'll see the CW TV's version, and CW TV, the DC TV on CW, is really killing it, and now they can throw Supergirl into the mix, and we'll see what happens. We'll see how Arrow is affected by it. I'm on board. I can't wait for Flash to return. That's coming up in October 4th, actually. We're just over a month away from The Flash's return. Next up, Karen Gillan has joined the cast of Jumanji. Where do you know Karen Gillan from? She was all painted blue. She was Nebula in Guardians of the Galaxy. She's playing Martha. This is the last major cast member to join Jumanji with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Kevin Hart, and Jack Black. The movie is going to start production in Honolulu. I guess it could be worse. They're going to be filming in Honolulu starting in September. That's tomorrow, by the way. Tomorrow is already September. Where did the summer go? She's rumored to be in Avengers Infinity War. I would imagine she will be because the Guardians are going to be there, and she is playing a huge part in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So just a thought, she'd probably be in Infinity War. Next up, our final story of the day before we get to all your questions. If you have questions, drop them in the comments section. I'm reading it live. Fear the Walking Dead. It was revealed that Madison is from Alabama, the southeastern part of the country where, oh yeah, The Walking Dead took place for almost 6 years. That means people are speculating, could she be a sibling to a Walking Dead character? Now, this is probably a stretch, I talked to Dave Erickson, the producer, and he said there is no crossover plans, but this wouldn't really be a crossover. It would just be a nice Easter egg. People are like, oh, could it be Rick Grimes' sibling? Now, let me tell you this. In the comics, Rick Grimes has a sibling, Jeff. He's in Barcelona. There was a one-shot comic called The Walking Dead, The Alien, which followed Jeff around Barcelona. He got bit on the leg just as he was about to head for the U.S., and he told this chick who found him and saved him, look for my brother Rick Grimes. He's a cop. Will he ever make it to the U.S.? Will he ever pop up in the Walking Dead comics? I don't know. Probably not. He probably died on that boat. It's got to be a long ride from Barcelona to the U.S., if they even made it. But people are saying maybe she's going to fill that role. Maybe there will be a connection eventually. Of course, her name would have been changed in her previous marriage. But some people are saying she could be Laurie's sister. We don't know much about Laurie's past. Or even Andrea. We don't know too much about Andrea, except that she had one sister who was on the show. So I would imagine if they had another, there would have been a mention of it. And if she was Rick's sister, there probably would have been a point where the world started to go to shit. And she said, maybe I should call my brother and see what's going on, because he's a cop after all. I don't know, just a thought. What do we got in the comment section? Do you think Steve Rogers will be the captain in the next movie? I'll tell you this, no, he won't. The Russo brothers said Steve Rogers is not Captain America anymore. Will he carry the shield? Will he do Captain America-y things? Absolutely, let's be honest. He's going to be back, maybe like in a Secret Avengers style, but I think Bucky puts on maybe not the mask, but he's going to probably hold the shield at some point too, or Sam Wilson. Is J.D. Morgan confirmed as Thomas Wayne in Flashpoint? No, Jeffrey Dean Morgan played Thomas Wayne in Batman vs. Superman, not in the Flashpoint TV show, the Flash TV show. Obviously, Bruce Wayne isn't even in there. But I would love to see Flashpoint happen in the movies, and you have a Thomas Wayne Batman with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I don't think it gets any better than that. That would be superb. I mean, the Bruce Wayne, the Thomas Wayne Batman in the Flashpoint comics was such a gritty, just tough as nails character, and I mean it's Batman in general, but I could totally see Jeffrey playing that role. I think that would be awesome. But as for what version of Flashpoint we'll get on TV, we'll have to wait and see. October 4th, it can't come soon enough. Any updates on the Shazam movie? I don't know if there's updates. About a couple months ago, I talked to Hiram Garcia, the producer, who is The Rock's producer. Said they're going to make it a lot of fun. Said he's been a huge Shazam fan his whole life. Said it's going to be highly influenced by the Kingdom Come stuff. That's what I've got. The black captain uniform. Oh, that's what you're talking about, William Booker. I don't know. Will he put on a black cap? I don't know. I think they're going to follow like the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, so I could totally see him taking like a Captain America suit or some alteration of it. I don't know if he's going to put on a black suit. Or I think if we see anything along those lines, it'll be like something like an Easter egg to tease it. I don't think it'll be the full suit. You think Arrow will be good? Yes, I think Arrow will be much improved this season. I think Stephen Amell won't acknowledge that it kind of went off the rails, but he has acknowledged that it's been faulty with all the magical stuff they've got into and all the fantastical elements that took it away from what people loved in the early seasons. I think that was influenced by The Flash, which took it away from what made Arrow so beloved. I think they're going to get back to that grounded, realistic, relatable almost role that show is supposed to play, and Season 5 will be much more appreciated because of that. Will Hulk get a one-on-one fight scene against Thanos? Well, we'll probably have to wait for that. I don't know. Only character to beat Thanos is Squirrel Girl. Can't wait to see that. Anna Kendrick going to take on Josh Brolin? Probably not. All right, let's find one more question. Any news on Justice League Dark has a new director? I did text Ron Perlman last week to ask if the Swamp Thing casting rumors were true, and he said they're not true. He's totally on board to join a comic book movie. We obviously know he already did Hellboy, but he is not Swamp Thing yet. So those were just rumors and hype and fan speculation that turned into articles on pretty much every website, including ours. And it turned out to be false, so I figured I'd spread that word too. There we go. Well, last one. Will Iron Man go to Doctor Strange for help? I don't. In what aspect? What would he need help with? In Infinity War, maybe it looks like Thor is going to go to Doctor Strange for help. I'll be on the set of Thor Ragnarok in just a couple weeks. I can't wait for that. So make sure you're hitting me up on Twitter if you want to hear about it. Make sure you're in the comment section here where we can talk about it. And that's all we got time for today, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday. Happy September at midnight. Thanks for watching. Hit me up on Twitter if you want to talk more at Brandon Davis BD. Love hearing from you guys, and share it with your friends at Comic Book Now, all that good stuff. We'll see you tomorrow.